It seems like Russia is about to start rolling out the hypersonic missiles. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and get to MAGA mutiny. Let's get right into it.
I didn't expect the corruption to be quite as, you know, widespread as it's been, and like the self-dealing and the lining of his and his family's pockets. Like that's been a little shocking.
That is so crazy. Imagine like somebody accused you of murder.
Yeah.
And it turns out you weren't guilty of that murder. And then you sue them and you go, you can never prosecute me for murder again.
It's really hard to take either one of them seriously for a number of reasons. The Donald Trump that is here today has been the same person. Like this is not, maybe the grift is different and maybe it's a little more polished and maybe it's more well executed, but he has been a grifter and a corrupt person his whole life. And so it's hard for me to believe in hearing them that this isn't another part of the scam. Like, oh, let me get off this train now because I see that he's a total train wreck. But you knew this before. There was plenty of reasons you didn't have to support him in 2024, and the same with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but we could say the same thing about you guys and Biden. You didn't have to support a senile old man who didn't have no control over, well, the presidency. And then even when we were calling it out and it was quite obvious, you guys were still low key, not willing to accept the truth. So it's kind of crazy, you guys pointing fingers at the MAGA guys or the guys who decided to jump off the MAGA boat because we were able to see what was going on. We didn't agree with it. So we did the responsible thing and jumped off. People like you, lady, you seen Biden's decline. You seen the disaster that Kamala Harris was, but you shut your mouth and kept going. So who are you to even call out anybody like Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, or any of us? When you stood right in line with the Democratic agenda when it came to Biden, and you did not jump off that train, not one bit, not even at the rest stop.
Plenty of reasons. None of those reasons have changed. And so it's almost like they're saying, oh, I knew he was bad. I just didn't think he was that bad. Well, if you knew he was bad, that's enough reason not to support him.
I mean, that's the same thing we told you with Biden. His mental health is bad. His mental decline is bad. And you ignored us. And then you didn't want to jump off the train when the economy was going bad. You didn't want to jump off the train when he was stumbling his words. So why are you judging anybody in MAGA for jumping off the train when they actually disagreed with Trump when you failed to do that yourself? Here's the thing. All the Democrats who are talking at this table honestly should be shutting the fuck up when it comes to that because they all walked in blind compliance. But you want to get mad at the Tucker Carlsons, Megyn Kellys, and guys like myself who turned away from MAGA when they were going the wrong direction, but you guys failed to do the same with Biden. Please, like, shut up.
Help further his campaign. So I don't know. It's just hard for me to take them seriously.
I almost feel too that what they're saying is I knew he was bad. I just didn't know he would be bad this loudly and embarrass all of us.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the thing we told you about Biden. Like his mental health was that bad. And then we got on that stage with Trump. He embarrassed all of you guys because we've been trying to tell you that for years. Oh, now you know how we feel. Okay.
Which we probably all at this table could have seen coming to some degree. But the way that he has enriched himself and his family over $1 billion just this year, I think, is his personal net worth, has been creative and various, right? Like through the courts, through crypto, there's nothing he won't try. And I think his base is starting to catch on that he is in no way working for them, but is working for himself.
Yeah, we're starting to catch on. We see the scam and we're walking off. That's honestly should be something that you should be praising us for. But I see these guys got a bit of jealousy for that because, well, obviously they can never do the same themselves. Like I said, we're talking about the same group of people right here that stood around and watched Biden mumbled his words and said, oh, this is the best president ever. These guys were the same people that watch inflation go to 9%, talking about we're in the best economy ever. Same people that was in blind compliance with the Biden administration is getting mad at the MAGA guys who weren't in blind compliance with the Trump administration. Kind of seems like you're jealous.
And his family and even these commentators are looking at a presidency that is coming to an end while they still have to further their media careers.
Well, I mean, Mark, I often point out, obviously, that Republicans made a whole career out of claiming that Joe Biden enriched himself off of his son's, whatever Hunter Biden.
Yeah, he got in on a Ukrainian weapons company, and Biden had heavy dealings in Ukraine that he wasn't honest about. And it's kind of funny. And here's the thing, like I said, we called it out then. Guys like me called it out then, and I'm gonna call it out with Trump as well. It's just being consistent. And that's the problem. You guys are harping on people who are doing something that you guys failed to do yourselves. Be consistent no matter who's in office.
Was doing. We know that President Trump, his net worth has skyrocketed to $6.5 billion since he's been president. His sons are actively and openly in a whole slew of businesses that are regulated by the Trump presidency, cryptocurrency, you know, gambling or whatever you want to call whatever you
Well,
you know,
let's see here.
gambling or whatever you want to call.
Well, hey, at least this graph proves that Trump was actually losing money in his presidency. Like, what is it? He walked in with 4.5 million. Bro walked out with we had 2.1, well, my bad, 4.5 billion walked in the presidency with, and then walked out with 2.1. That's tough. And it stayed around there. He comes back in 2024, and all of a sudden he just skyrockets up to $6.5 billion. Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem. Like, I could see if it went up to like 2.3 to 3.3, then I don't know, maybe 5.1. They could sit there and be like, all right, but he's just making business moves. Like, and they're good business moves if he's earning more. But this to see a really crazy jump like this from 2.3 to 6.5, what from 2024 to 2026, especially with all the business dealings he's been getting in during his presidency. I'm sorry, but this does look really shady.
You know, gambling or whatever you want to call it. Trump says it's not gambling, but it is prediction markets, real estate investments, Truth Social, all of it. I mean, how do you justify that if you're a Republican?
Abby, I remember being on the campaign in 2016, and one of the most electric lines was the Drain the Swamp rally
But you don't justify it, you condemn it. That's all you got to do.
cry at the various rallies. I think American voters elected Donald Trump to clean it up. They viewed that Hillary Clinton and the Clinton machine was corrupt. I think it helped in 2020 2024 that the Biden family, I think, had taken advantage of taxpayers, with Hunter making money off the communist Chinese and making money off his paintings. I think that Republicans.
Oh, guys, we got 10 of y'all in here, man. If I can get 9 likes, appreciate the support, by the way. But if I can get 9 likes here, guys, so go ahead and smash that like button, no matter where you're watching, on YouTube or Rumble. Make sure you smash that like button, guys. Let's get more people in on the conversation by smashing that like button. Appreciate the support, guys. Let's get right back into it.
Making money off the communist Chinese and making money off his paintings. I think that Republicans look inconsistent when we don't call it out as well, and as Donald Trump. I think when you see that basically it's not just it's Qatar that is funding much of their crypto investments, when you see that Jared is basically getting his money from Saudi Arabia, yet also simultaneously negotiating Middle East peace process if there's no conflict of interest there.
Yeah.
That just today it came out that Kazakhstan had.
Bro, the fact that he's involved in peace negotiations and he has a close relationship with the Netanyahu family is asinine. Like, he should be taken out right there and then. Like, he has every incentive to get in the way of any type of peace negotiations in Iran, in Lebanon, anywhere, honestly, that involves the Middle East. Like, I don't know why Jared Kushner's there. And it honestly should be, this should be taken up by the ethics committee, because this is unethical.
Has mining companies.
Here's the thing, even when Jared Kushner first showed up, I never trusted him. I'm just like, who the hell is he?
That the Trump boys are invested in, and it's being backed up by Exim Bank loans, taxpayer funded. I think Republicans need to be consistent on this, and I think it could be a big detriment to them come November.
Would you agree, though, that what we're talking about is orders of magnitude difference? I mean, let's stipulate maybe it's millions of dollars that Hunter Biden made from his business dealings. We're talking about billions.
I think it's bad either way, Abby. I don't want to get into comparison of one of them. I think it's bad either way, and I think Republicans are right to call it out with Hunter, and we should be calling it out this time too.
I will call it out as hypocritical, because what Donald Trump just did last week was, in my opinion, and according to many who've looked at it, including the New York Times, which I know you probably don't agree with, the most corrupt decision that any president has ever made in history.
I'm sorry, but that's like, yeah, that's hyperbolic. The most corrupt decision any president has made in history, dog. Are you sure about that? I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I think the president that put in the Federal Reserve, that might have been the most corrupt decision in American history. So calm that down, buddy. Calm it down.
American history. I mean, first of all, he sued his own government for $10 billion. Then he negotiated.
What he did is corrupt, but it's not the most corrupt thing a president did in history. Like, in America's history, like, bro, we've had a lot of presidents that did a lot of fucked up shit.
Deal with himself, with his own lawyer, for $1.8 billion, but he has complete control over this with some fancy commission of people who his lawyer appoints and he can fire. That is the most corrupt, self-dealing most farcical operation I've ever seen.
Yeah, the setting up of this legal slush fund is a bit weird, but here's the thing though. They're kind of misframing it because it can be used by both Dems and Republicans if they've been treated wrong or prosecuted unfairly by the government. So we can't sit there and say this is all for Republicans or all for Trump and his cronies. One, because I mean, we haven't even seen how it's been how it's been implicated yet. We haven't seen it. And two, they're telling us that Letitia James and James Comey could even come in here and get some of these funds. So we can't really say this is something for Trump and his cronies or his guys until we see how it's utilized.
And the idea that he was able to get away with it and Republicans won't call him out on it.
Let me just make sure. I just want to also just make a note of this. The Trump administration is also now actively, and they say this is not being done quietly, they are deleting indictments from January 6th convicts that are on government websites, literally erasing history, and doing it proudly so. Nothing quite about it. We are proud to reverse the DOJ's weaponization under the Biden administration. This is about one man who has an ongoing child solicitation case and came to the Capitol armed with bear spray.
I'm not familiar with that case or many of those other ones, but I will.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be real though. That doesn't consist of all of them. You called out one pretty bad case, and I agree. He shouldn't get anything. But there were some cases where a lot of these protesters were, like I said, pushed into officers, bumped into them, and now they got an assault and officer charge, and you guys are calling them, oh, they hurt our value, they hurt our police, look what they're doing. Oh my goodness, how could you ever hurt a Capitol officer? But you're okay with them hurting ICE officers. So, try to reconcile with that or try to be consistent for once, Democrats. If you don't like police getting hurt, then you should feel the same way about ICE, not just Capitol Police. But the problem is those that, there's some January 6ers, not all, but some of them who were wrongfully prosecuted for striking a police officer or assaulting one. Not all of them, but there were some pretty crazy cases. Like a guy got bumped into one, pushed in, he got pushed, bumped into an officer, and they said, yep, you assaulted an officer, going to jail. Like, that's absolutely insane. And that's not everybody, but there are some cases that need to be addressed.
Capitol armed with bear spray.
I'm not familiar with that case or many of those other ones, but I will.
Does it even matter? I mean, why are they erasing?
Most of those people shouldn't have been pardoned anywhere. At least the violent ones, like Enrique.
Well, I would have to go case by case. I'd have to go case by case, low key, and see which cases they're deleting. Because if they're deleting a case like that, then I'm in full agreement with you. But if they're deleting cases where it was a bit questionable, then all right, then. It is what it is. I'm not in line with every January 6er having to spend years in jail because not all of them committed violence, but a lot of them got locked up on the charge of committing violence or vandalism.
Shouldn't have. But we'll go back to Keith's point. The Republican senators are standing up to this. That's why they left town. That's why they left town.
Whoa, they left town. Whoa.
And I think,
big
by the way,
there.
I think I don't like the $1.8 billion slush fund. I wouldn't like it as 1.8 billion pennies either. And I think most Republican senators feel the same way. That's the kind of thing you do through a court or through the legislative process, and not through a settlement. A judge could order it, but
what are they going to do about it? What are they going to do about it?
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now that there is an extreme level of dissatisfaction within the Republican Senate conference. It's not just this. I think that's why John Cornyn got Trump's hire. I don't think it was anything about what John Cornyn had done or said himself regarding Donald Trump. I think that John Cornyn was the hostage that the president could shoot politically. He's mad at the whole conference. He's mad that they haven't gotten rid of the filibuster. He's mad that they left town. I guess
my point is they're not actually doing anything.
They left town. Wow.
I mean,
Look,
honestly,
I do think it's sunk.
Really
I do think it's sunk the reconciliation bill. It should be a big win for Republicans. Right. It should be us being strong on border security when Democrats are weak, and instead it's been totally derailed. But I'll go a step further.
You would guys,
Abby, I'll go a step further.
Republicans would impeach a Democratic president who did even one of the things that we discussed.
Abby, I'll go a step further. We keep talking about this as $1.8 billion.
Be honest with you, no, we didn't. Actually, they didn't. They kind of let Biden do whatever the hell he wanted, to be real with you. I mean, like the legal mishaps, the whole Ukrainian energy company, like funding and all this good stuff, or putting his son at the head of a corporation or on the board of an energy company. So here's the thing. What did you guys do when Biden was showing examples of corruption? Like, what did y'all do? Nothing. So what do you think the Republicans are going to do? Nothing, because y'all didn't do anything either. I mean, what, you got any tips for them to go off of? Because y'all stood there and let Biden do whatever the hell they want, whatever the hell he wanted to do. So You got any tips? Because I don't think y'all are in the place to sit there and judge at that point. And that's what kills me, because I wish they could judge the other side, but they can't, because they sat there and did the exact same thing they're judging these guys for doing with under Biden. Like, they're doing the exact same thing. Like, that's when that lady started off. I was a little pissed, because I was like, yo, you're getting mad at people that were brave enough to do what you couldn't. Actually go against the grain, actually go against their party. Like, that's absolutely outrageous how they had any judgment toward people like Megyn Kelly or Tucker Carlson, but they should have all the praise in the world that they were able to do something that a lot of these guys at this table were too cowardly to do themselves when it came to the Biden administration. So I'm really not trying to hear it. And here's the thing. Shout out to these two Republicans for actually not even defending this at all. At all. They're just like, no, it's wrong. We're not going to sit here and try to defend Trump over something that's obviously wrong. Like, nobody's doing that.
It's worse than that. It's 1.776
Right.
because some clown thought it'd be funny to say the people who rioted and assaulted police are equivalent to the people who founded our country 250 years ago and stood our country up. So I think it's even more nefarious than that. I think that this whole notion of 1.776 is some clever fool in the White House thinking this would be funny, and it's not. But I think it has already
I
derailed.
also want to say that 1.776 is our money, and this is a time at which people are feeling the squeeze. Gas is more expensive than it's been in recent memory. Our electricity bills are up. Places like Arizona, it is so hard.
I agree with her on that one. I mean, like, out of all the agendas you could be tackling, like affordability, you want to go, and you could have put $1.8 billion into, I don't know, making something cheaper for Americans, but instead you did it to get back at the Dems for what? For their terrible prosecution of January 6ers, and not all of them, but a decent amount of them. So yeah, it is like the worst time to put this out when there's so much more going on with the American people, especially with this whole war in the Middle East. And you want to do this that has like nothing to do with the war in the Middle East or the affordability problem that Americans are going through. Like, what?
Hot, and we're spending more and more every year just to keep our houses cool. Groceries are expensive, and people are just barely making it by, and that is our money.
Guys, make sure to like the video, guys. We got about 90 y'all in here, man. Shoot, let's get to 100% engagement. Let's get up to 9 likes by smashing that like button. And don't matter if you're on Rumble or YouTube.
That he is making that decision about, right? He's saying that our hard-earned tax dollars should go to these January 6 rioters. There's nothing patriotic about that. And it is insensitive in a moment like this when so many Americans are struggling.
Are we not voting on it because the American people are sick and tired of this illegal war that is costing tens of billions of dollars? Gas prices are through the roof. People can't afford their groceries. Is that why you're pulling it? You guys don't have the guts or the balls.
The House will be in order.
That was the House floor on Thursday before recess. Just to give you a little context, there are 4 House Republicans: Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania, Thomas Massie of Kentucky, Warren Davidson, and Tom Barrett of Michigan, who have voted in favor with the Democrats of that measure previously. Josh, where do they go from here? Because we have both what's happening on the Hill and where the GOP is and if they're breaking ranks. And we also have what's coming next in this war.
Right. This is the most unpopular war in American history by far, and for good reason. And the way that these things work is that the longer it goes on, the popularity goes down, not up, over time. And that is a calamity for the Republican Party, but that's not what's important right now. What's important is that it's a calamity for the United States of America, for our national security, for our alliances abroad, for putting our troops in danger with no clear strategy of what achieves a victory and how to get them out of there and how does this end. And without any of those answers, everybody can see that the administration is flailing about. And the way we know they have no strategies because the strategy changes every single day with various justifications that don't make any sense when compared to one another. And that's where we are. And that's a pretty sad state of affairs. And yes, that's going to be terrible for Republicans in November, but that's really not the worst thing about it. And Donald Trump doesn't seem to care about that anyway.
You really don't.
And so what is your sense, Joe, of where the Republicans are?
Is either he doesn't care or he's been completely deluded that, he's been fed a delusion that, if I just end this, gas prices and inflation will go back to normal within a week or two, at most a month or two. And it's like, no, bro, because you committed to this war, it's going to take years to recover. Like, the economic damage is already done. We might not see $3 gas until 2032 because of this war. And you're going to have to eat that one in the midterms. And the Republicans are going to have to find a way to explain why they supported a war that's going to put Americans in this position for years. Like, y'all better find a very good argument right now.
Monolithic, but he has had
Damn
real iron-fisted control over congressional Republicans for many, many years now. What is your sense of if this is starting to be a different scenario?
I think he has, you call it control. I think he has influence over Republicans.